Peace all, this is Puda, also known as Alien Black Girl underscore with Mother's Oddities, here to give the reading for the water signs. That's Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. So this is for November 5th through the 12th for the water signs only. So I've already put out the cards, and so now I'll just read them and talk with you about them. They can be for your sun, moon, rising, and your Venus. It may not attune to all of you. It may be specifically for you if you decide to come to this reading and check out the other signs within your own chart as well. So let's get started. So I'll start off with the bottom deck card, which I like to do as the overall reading, and that is the Eight of Wands. When we have the Eight of Wands, you're going to be getting a lot of answers. You've been doing a lot of waiting and a lot of planting of seeds, and so now you're going to start getting a lot of offers left and right, a lot of offers, a lot of opening for communication, a lot of just advancement towards you, but you have to be grounded enough to be able to cipher through what is good for you and what is not good for you. We are in Mars in retrograde, so it's a time that's going to bring up frustration for sure. So if you are not grounded in what it is you want and need and can't and don't have boundaries of saying like, no, this is not what I'm about to do, or yes, this is what I want to do, and stick to it, then this time, the season, this next 2 weeks or so, week or so, will be a little bit challenging because you're not even abiding by the boundaries that you're setting, or you haven't even put up the boundaries to begin with. So that's something to be focusing on. And when I say boundaries, I mean cutting off your time from people. I mean if you're trying to date, what that looks like for dating. If you're trying not to, how you engage in friendship or business or things like that, whatever guidelines you set forth, abiding by them and going forward with them is what I mean by when I say setting boundaries. So you do have 2 cards of opportunity and great influence when it comes to your foundation, which you have the Ace of Wands and then the Knight of Pentacles. So these are great with gathering together your resources to produce. It's a time of doing now, especially we are in Mars in retrograde, because though it does bring up anger and frustration, it also brings up a time of desire, passion, and forceful movement forward so that you can do what it is you need to do. It's out there, you just have to do it. So it's a good time of getting everything into action. This is your time to go. This is a sign to do everything that you say you're going to be doing, because now there won't be a better time to do this. But now in the Mars in retrograde season, so this week really set some grounding and set some plants, some roots down, some seeds down, so that you can start doing what it is you need to be doing. And it takes planning. So don't just jump into something really quickly and not plan, because then the follow through won't go well and it will just be really terrible. So also, this is like a time of really sitting there and assessing like what has hurt you. You're coming out of a time of like heartbreak and just pain and I would say just disappointment. It's a season of disappointment, but there are great beginnings as well. But make sure that you're assessing those feelings and not just passing them by and not attaching to them. Now, when I say attaching to them, meaning acknowledging them, not attaching them, acknowledging them and saying like, this is how I feel. This is what happened, and now I have to move on from it, because just some things are just not meant to be. Some things are just immature and not ready for movement, and some things must be left in the past. Specifically, everybody can't go. That's one thing I always say. Everybody can't go with you where you're supposed to go. Some people are specifically for a season, especially if they continue to show you in their lives that you're temporary or fixed for you. So, and going to show. But some of you, you're moving on from that energy, that controlling, conniving, manipulative, witchy bitchy mood, that person who's manipulative and controlling. And so you're moving on to this, and make sure that you don't become this person, that you don't be blocked off and guarded because of the things that you've experienced. And so again, with that Queen of Swords energy, it's like making sure that anything around you that doesn't affect the actions of someone else. Just because someone else treated you like shit doesn't mean you need to be treating others the same way. And so it's a time to take a pause and just really think about, the small victories. Think about where you've gone to. Think about, what you have accomplished, and really take a time to assess and not to be reactive in your emotions, not to like, well, this happened, so I'm going to do this in this season. So make sure that you are, planning out what it is that you're going to be doing. Some of you are going to be going through a breakup, a long distance breakup. You're going to realize that this is not working for you. That it's just not something that you need. And you're going to give this person an ultimatum, and they're going to be like, well, I can't do it, and that's okay, because not everything is meant to be. Again, some things are meant for a season, but there is a decision that must be made. If this is something you want to continue to work on, or if it's something that you're not. But just know that there must be a choice that must be made. If you're somebody that's serial dating, and you're looking to settle down, make that decision before it's made for you, and you'll be asked out, and you'll be really sad. So just go ahead and make that decision, and don't be complacent on your actions, especially if it's somebody that you're interested in. And if it's someone that it's time to be over with, go ahead and do that too. Don't let them wait for you to break up with them as well. And some of you are going to need to break up with this person, or in this cycle of abuse, whether it's a friendship or relationship, because you've gone back and given this person so many chances, and it's just, you feel like you're doing all the work, that there's no real growth in that, so it's time to move on with wisdom. It's time to make sure that you're doing all the things that you need to be doing this week, and let loose. Let go of trying to control everything of the outcome, and let go of trying to think your way through it. Trust your emotions. A lot of times you'll hear water signs not to feel so much, but trust your emotions. If you are, as long as you are grounded and emotionally competent, trust your emotions and that gut feeling, because you don't want to live in the, well, I should have, that's not a good way to live, so. For some of you, you are going to have to scale back, scale back on your spending, scale back on the life that you live, and scale back on some of the energy that you give. You have to say no sometimes. You have to really just sit with yourselves and sit with what you got going on, because you have big things coming for you, but you have to grasp them. And that ties into planning. Okay, water signs. So I really hope that this resonates with the water signs in some way, form, or fashion. I will let you have a great week this week. Peace and darkness. Peace to the infinite and divine.